It's day one of Jan&Jonmas,
Ta-da!
which means we're going to be looking at track one from our brand new Christmas album, Great Joy to the New.
And track one is the Derby Ram, a very, very joyous track. Not if you're the Ram, but we'll talk about the tradition because we never get the opportunity to talk about this on stage because there's quite a lot to it. But we got this song. There's so many versions of it, and it's a really well-known song everywhere, to be honest. So we got this song from a book called Noel Sing We Clear, which is one of these sort of compilations of Christmassy songs. Some of them folky, some of them Christian. And
the song is from. Yeah, we were looking at this song. We thought it was quite a good one because it's a bit of a... Well, it's not a Christian one. And we think it's good to have a wee bit of balance with different traditions. But there's just so many versions of this song. Like, pretty much, I've got quite a few books, different like compilations of folk songs upstairs, collections. And you can find a version of the Derby Ram in like pretty much every single one of them. There's just so many versions that have been done. And what I really liked about this version was the primary source was from John and Tony's memories. And I just loved that.
It's such a sketchy source.
Yeah.
And I think since finding it, we kind of looked around a bit for anyone else who's used that melody, because that was what attracted us to the song. And I think the closest we've got was a recording of Sweeney's Men doing, kind of a similar melody, slightly different chorus, I think, but that's on an old record of Sweeney's Men, and that's about it. So yeah, slightly different. We quite like it. We've rocked it up a bit,
It's very silly. We've leaned into the silliness of this song for sure.
But the Derby Ram tradition, we should mention as well. The tradition itself is it's quite an old one. It originates not just in Derbyshire, but around and about, and not in all parts of Derbyshire as well. But the tradition kind of exists in a couple of forms. So this song is one of them. The song is essentially this kind of big, elaborate lie about how big this ram is. And how it was killed, and what happened to its body parts.
Another part of the Derby Ram story is the costume, and it's essentially a ram's head, either a real ram's head or one made out of wood with a little blanket or cape tied around it, which makes it a little costume.
It's nice.
And he features on the front cover of our album.
Yeah.
Old Tup.
We also had one made for us as well.
We did. I could go and get it.
Oh, you could, yeah.
Oh, it's in your house, actually.
Oh well. Shall we give the song a listen?
Let's have a listen.
As I was going to Derby upon a Christmas day, it was there I met the finest ram that ever was fed on.
So we should say that Andy Bell produced this, and he mixed it, and Sam Proctor mastered it. It was a lot of the sort of extra bits were Andy's input, so that kind of junk percussion style was kind of his imagining.
To seen the same as I. Now the horns that grew on this
Ben Nichols on the bass.
up to the moon, and a boy went up in April, and he didn't come down till June. Now the horns that grew on this ram's head, they grew so mighty wide that a coach and six could go betwixt.
We think about shape a lot as well when we arrange, and we wanted kind of an upward trajectory for this one. Like,
as the song gets sillier, so does our arrangement.
There's a little dip here where it gets a bit dramatic and sad.
This old ram, he had a tail, it reached right down to hell.
I wouldn't call it sad.
Yeah, maybe maybe just theatrical.
And the butcher that killed this ram, sir, was up to his knees in blood. And for
When the horns are coming in, yeah.
They're great.
the flood, and the flood
All these horn parts are written by John Bowden.
run no more. It turned the biggest water wheel that ever was turned before.
Yeah, he did a nice job. A really nice job, actually. It really made this track. And it's nice you can hear sort of flavours of his other projects kind of coming into play. He's got a real style.
Kids in Derby come begging for his eyes to kick about in Derby town, for they were a football
I love that tuba.
And if you don't believe me and think it all a lie, well, you go down to Derby town and you'll see the same as I. And indeed, no, lads, it's true.
And those chorus singers are a bunch of our pals that we got to record some ramshackle backing vocals. Just to amp up the silliness.
And it does, yeah, it's got a nice ramshackle character to it, isn't it? Like the whole thing, the junk percussion, the singers, everything's a bit cheesy.
There we go.
Nice.
Very cute. We said to Andy that we really love this track by Tim Van Eycken called The 12 Joys of Mary. And it's, yeah, you just kind of have to listen to it. It also starts off very silly. Lots of pots and pans and
Yeah,
things like
there's
that.
Morris bells. You get the
Yeah.
idea that people are on the move somewhere.
And what we had in the studio was like all these kind of nuts.
Oh yeah, you got
Nuts
a
that
bag
were
of
kind
nuts,
of-
didn't you? Yeah, yeah.
Like nuts that were dried and like attached onto like a
Yeah,
bit
like
of
a
fabric.
bracelet or something.
Like yeah.
Yeah,
And so you could just kind of hold them and
yeah.
sort of jingle them. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
There was those. What else was there? There was the bag of. There was the weird nuts.
Yeah, there was a stick of bells.
Stick of bells.
Yeah.
Cymbals. Did we use
Yeah.
any cymbals in this track?
I can't remember, to be honest.
remember.
Yeah. But there was all sorts of stuff, and I think it was quite fun. If there were more, we would have used them.
Yeah.
It's like it was that kind of track where it's not less is more. It's more.
Add
is,
everything,
More
yeah.
is more.
More is more.
So that was track 1 of Jan&Jonmas, or day 1 of
Day one.
Jan&Jonmas. If you'd like to see more, we're gonna post a few more. We've got 13 tracks on this album, so
13 days.
13 days. So yeah, you can subscribe or
Follow. Like. Any or all of the above.
yes, and we'll see you tomorrow.